Hello and welcome to the Slingshot channel. Horse chestnuts. Yes, this is a great year for them. There's so many of those here in Germany. It took me maybe 10 minutes to pick up this whole bucket full of them. And of course they're really nice and shiny, but they're not edible, unfortunately, at least not to humans, as far as I know. I have no desire to find out. Anyway, they must be good for something, and I think they could be really useful slingshot ammo. But of course they're really big and not always perfectly round, so we probably have to make a special slingshot for it. Or do we? In fact, we don't. So this is a pre-production model of the upcoming ram hammer slingshot, one of my most extreme designs. As you see, it has a really, really low fork. And a lot of people will now say, you're going to hit your hand, you're going to hit the frame of the slingshot, but that's not the case. So if I take a typical chestnut and put it on here, you can see that this is like the average band. It will still fit through the fork just fine. What you can do as a safety measure, you can, if you're really afraid to hit your hand, since you're typically shooting sideways, what you can do is you can take your thumb and curl it up a little bit like this, so that during the shot, the chestnut will fly a little bit high. It will give it a little bit of an upwards vector, see? So this went high, and this means that the chances that you're going to hit the frame or the fingers is negligent. So they're actually not super heavy, you know, they're kind of a soft core and so on. But I think what they can do really well is explode on the target, like a frangible round for slingshots. Let's try this out. Here is a nice round one. Actually, the more round they are, the more accurate they will fly. If they're really like funny in shape, then they will deviate after a few meters. But this one should be fine. Ha! Frangible ammo. Ha! Finally, at last. Ha! I hit it. Ha! You have to use the smaller ones if you have a smaller pouch. So if you want to shoot the real big ones, I recommend making a larger leather pouch, because then it won't slip out so easily. In order to optimize shooting the horse chestnuts, I basically made a new slingshot band set, and I'm reusing a very old frame that is suitable for the job, because, I mean, first of all, it kind of matches the raw appearance because it's made from antler horn. It has a steel core. As you see, there's a steel ball in the middle, and actually there's steel little rods that go through the handles here, so it's all solidly glued together. Basically, this is a steel slingshot covered with antler horn, but it gives it this nice raw appearance. But specifically the pouch is designed for it. So the frame of this slingshot is actually wide and high. It's much higher than the frame of the ram hammer, and as you see, it's a little misleading because it is so wide, but really the height of the frame is like this. So this gives it plenty of room to fit. But the biggest difference is in the band length. I'm using short bands, and I'm using a really big pouch with a fat hole. And that has a reason that has to do with the dimension and shape of the chestnuts. So here is like a I would say reasonably sizable one. As you see, it's not perfectly round, but pretty round. But it can easily slip out of a pouch that is too small. Now this pouch here has plenty of reserve for it. So if you put this in, you can see that it has plenty of reserve, and that is good. The big hole makes sure that it's nicely centered and won't easily slip out. And the short bands are so that when you draw it out, you don't have to hold your hand in an awkward angle. So you stretch it out really far as these bands allow. But if you go into the full butterfly It's so easy because, see, in the full butterfly your hand is a very awkward angle and it's very hard to really get a good hold on the ammo. Now if this is a nice perfectly round and pretty small slingshot steel ball, then it's no problem. But with the funnily shaped chestnuts, it's really better to have a short draw. You still need some powerful bands, so this is a double layer band set, 3 centimeters tapered down to 2 centimeters. That is because these chestnuts are very heavy. So this one probably has like 15 grams, which is like the same weight as a, I don't know, maybe 20 millimeter steel ball or something. So you do need serious amount of rubber to accelerate it. Now this here is a much more safe and much more easy to control slingshot setup for shooting these horse chestnuts. Okay, let's go for a fragmentation test. Ah, perfect. Let's do another one. It works really well. Can we also hit the cans? I think we can. Ha! That was a good hit. Another hit. Bing. Bing. Boing. Book. Boing. Tick. Tick. Ding. So as you see, it's a ton of fun to shoot these, and there's of course some that are more suitable than others. In order to see if these are kind of useful for less than lethal self-defense with a slingshot, I picked 10 good ones, I think, and I'm going to shoot them at this target cardboard piece there that has about the size of a typical upper man's body. So let's see how many times I can hit it. I don't think I can get that one, even though it's annoying. Almost missed it. I think that was 10 out of 10. Okay, I think they're still in there, so I can probably even reuse them. Yeah. See, they're all caught in these nice compartments in here. I have to say that this is a lot of fun and it costs next to nothing. And of course it is also so easy to clean up because you just go and leave all the exploded chestnuts where they are. Now, of course, what is true for chestnuts is also true for stones. So shooting rocks is also a possibility with a slingshot. I mean, as boys, we always shot rocks for hours on time. And of course, they don't fly as straight as round steel balls, and also they are not as powerful as steel balls or lead balls, but they still are a lot of fun. But you have to use a larger pouch, otherwise it might slip out. So the pouch that I'm using for the chestnuts is also very suitable for these large rocks. So in fact, it's a good idea to angle the backstop a little bit away from yourself and from the house that you live in. That was a ricochet. Okay, fair enough. So as you see, a rock doesn't have to be totally round. They are of course never as accurate as a perfectly round steel ball. But also these rocks are hard, so they are not less lethal. I think they're actually fully lethal. In any case, I hope that you like this, because that's it for today. Thanks and bye-bye.